I want to show you the video he posted. This happened when he was filming the Aurora Borealis. He was doing a time lapse. Just into the time lapse, there's a few objects that appear. We're going to freeze it for you so you can get a good look at it. 5 objects appear flying alongside each other.
In 2013, NASA announced the discovery of a 3,000-meter-wide UFO-like object silently orbiting Earth, sparking worldwide speculation. This colossal anomaly remains unexplained, challenging everything we know about space and extraterrestrial life. More recently, Ivan Wagner, a Russian cosmonaut aboard the International Space Station, filmed a series of unidentified objects while capturing the Aurora Borealis. The footage shows 5 objects flying in perfect formation, raising questions about their origin. Wagner even hinted at the possibility of space guests and sent the footage to Russian authorities for further analysis. Each of these leaves us wondering, are we alone? Join us today as we explore the most compelling UFO sightings, piecing together clues that could redefine our understanding of the universe. Let's rewind a little. NASA first brought this discovery to light during a presentation at the Brasilia Planetarium in 2013. It wasn't some small announcement. No, they stood in front of the public and said, "Hey, we've discovered something huge up there, and we have no idea what it is." Since then, the world has been buzzing with questions, speculations, and theories. People from all walks of life, from scientists to conspiracy theorists, have weighed in on what this massive object could be. But we still have no clear answers, and honestly, we might never get them. At least not in the way we'd like. You have to imagine how scientists felt when they made this discovery. These are people who've dedicated their lives to studying the stars and planets, and they've encountered all sorts of strange and mysterious phenomena. But even for them, this was something that defied all the usual explanations. A 3,000-meter-wide object floating so casually in space doesn't really fit into any category that they could easily recognize. It doesn't match the characteristics of any known asteroid, comet, or satellite. And what's even stranger is that there wasn't much else around it. It was as if this object had just appeared out of nowhere, hanging around Earth like it had been placed there intentionally, perhaps by something or someone far more advanced than us. And that's the question, isn't it? If this object isn't natural, then what could it possibly be? What kind of technology would be able to produce something so enormous? Can you imagine the resources and advanced technology required to construct an object that big and send it into space, especially into Earth's orbit? The sheer scale of it would require a level of engineering and scientific knowledge that is beyond anything we currently possess. The idea that an advanced civilization, potentially alien in nature, could have created this thing to explore Earth or monitor us is a fascinating and, frankly, a terrifying possibility. But what we do know is that this object is not to be messed with. The sheer size of it tells us that. And let's face it, it's hard to imagine a race of creatures so advanced that they could build something that big just to cruise around Earth's orbit. Some scientists have even suggested that this object could be some sort of mothership, something used by aliens as a base or headquarters. And when you really think about it, it's not such a far-fetched idea. It would take an enormous amount of resources, not to mention an entirely different level of technology, to build something that massive and send it into space. If it is a spacecraft, it would also have to be incredibly durable. Space is a harsh environment, full of radiation, meteoroids, and cosmic rays that can damage anything that is not built with extreme resilience. The fact that it's still intact, still floating up there with no visible signs of wear and tear, just adds to the mystery. The sheer longevity of this object, maintaining its form and structure over what could be thousands of years, raises countless questions. We may never fully understand how something like this could exist, or whether it was made by another civilization. Perhaps it was part of a greater, even more unfathomable plan, one beyond our comprehension. The sheer potential of what this discovery could mean for the future is mind-boggling. Could this object be an early warning system? Or is it something else entirely? The possibilities are endless, but one thing is certain: its presence changes everything. But what's truly mind-boggling is the possibility that this is just one piece of a much larger puzzle. Some theorists believe that this mysterious object could be linked to the famous interstellar object known as Oumuamua. If you're not familiar with it, let me fill you in. In 2017, astronomers spotted a strange object streaking through our solar system. They couldn't work out where it came from or what it was made of, but it was moving in a way that defied the usual expectations of celestial bodies. Some experts even speculated that it could be a probe sent by an alien civilization to scout the Earth or study our solar system. Given its strange trajectory and speed, it certainly didn't behave like a typical comet or asteroid. It seemed almost deliberate in its movement, as if it were being guided or controlled. Now imagine the implications if this new object, this massive 3,000-meter wide anomaly, is somehow connected to this mysterious interstellar visitor. Could it be a fragment of something even bigger? Or is it part of a network of objects deliberately placed in our solar system, waiting for the right moment to reveal their purpose? If these two objects are indeed connected, the questions multiply. What does it mean for our understanding of the universe? And more intriguingly, who or what could be behind such an elaborate scheme? The more we learn, the more baffling and awe-inspiring the possibilities become. Could we be on the verge of discovering something truly monumental about our place in the cosmos? Think about it for a moment. What if Oumuamua wasn't just some random asteroid or comet that wandered into our solar system? What if it was part of a larger network of objects or spacecraft all observing Earth? It would be an unprecedented discovery, one that could completely reshape our understanding of space extraterrestrial life. And our place in the universe? Perhaps Oumuamua was some sort of scout sent out from its home star system to explore our solar system. And this new object is the next phase in that plan. If it is, it would mean that we've barely scratched the surface of something far bigger than ourselves. If these objects are part of a larger network or program, it raises even more questions about the nature of the intelligence behind them. What would their motivations be? Are they studying us for scientific purposes, or is there something more sinister at play? And if they are here to watch, how long have they been watching us? We're talking about technology that could go back millions of years, possibly longer. And if they've been watching us for that long, what have they seen? What would they make of the rise and fall of humanity, our wars, our technological advances, our environmental degradation? We can only imagine the conclusions they might have drawn. The sheer scale of this discovery, the mystery surrounding it, and the potential implications for humanity are staggering. And yet we may never know the full extent of what's going on. It's possible that this 3,000-meter wide object is just a small part of something much bigger and more complex. We may not have the technology or the understanding to fully comprehend what's out there. For now, all we can do is speculate, theorize, and wait for the next discovery that might bring us closer to understanding the true nature of the universe and what other intelligent beings might be out there, watching us as we watch the stars. It's enough to make you question everything you thought you knew about the universe, isn't it? But wait, because the story doesn't end there. Fast forward to recent events and the mystery deepens. Just a few months ago, something incredible happened. Something that may have taken the whole UFO phenomenon to a whole new level. A Russian cosmonaut stationed on the International Space Station made a very interesting claim. He suggested that he had filmed a UFO in orbit while recording the beautiful northern lights. Well, we've all seen those mesmerizing pictures and videos of the northern lights, haven't we? The lights stretching across the sky, illuminating it in shades of green, purple, and blue, mesmerizing anyone privileged enough to see them. But this was different. This was something unusual. Even Wagner, the cosmonaut in question, posted a video online showing what appeared to be 5 objects flying side by side in space. These objects kept the same distance from each other, as if they were on some kind of synchronized mission. They were moving together in perfect formation, almost as if they were working in unison. There was no chaos, no erratic movement, just smooth and calculated movement. Wagner even tweeted about it, asking his followers, "What do you think they are? Meteors, satellites, or..." He even floated the idea that they could be guests from outer space, adding fuel to an already raging fire of speculation. Who are these mysterious visitors? Are they really from another world? Could they be monitoring us? Or perhaps just passing through our corner of the galaxy? What does it mean that these objects seem to be under some kind of control or purpose moving in formation? But here's where it gets even weirder. If you look closely at the footage, you'll notice something strange. Just before the 5 objects appear, there's a faint white object flying through space, moving from left to right. You really have to pay attention, but if you freeze the footage at the right moment, you can see it. It's subtle, but it's there, flying through the cosmos. What's more, as soon as the faint object disappears, the 4 lights, or whatever they are, appear right after it. It's almost as if they were all connected in some way, like a sequence of events too perfect to be a coincidence. Could it be that the faint object was a signal or some sort of precursor to the arrival of the 5 objects? Or maybe it's part of something even bigger that we just don't understand yet. It's like watching a scene unfold in slow motion, where every tiny detail could be the key to solving a mystery that has baffled mankind for centuries. Now, some people might dismiss this as just another optical illusion or a trick of the light. After all, space is a vast, chaotic place, full of strange phenomena that can easily be misinterpreted by the human eye. But if an astronaut doesn't know what he's looking at, what does that tell us about our knowledge of UFOs? If someone in space, someone trained to observe the cosmos and accustomed to the complexities of space travel, can't identify these objects, how are we ordinary people down here on Earth supposed to make sense of them? The idea that even an expert in space exploration is left scratching his head adds a whole new layer of mystery to the situation. If an astronaut who has spent years studying space and its many wonders can't put a label on what he saw, then it begs the question, how much do we really know about the universe? How many things are out there, hidden from our view, just waiting to be discovered? But it doesn't end there. Oh no, this isn't the first time strange objects have been filmed in the sky. In fact, we've got even more footage that will make you question everything. We're talking about footage captured from commercial airplanes. These are some of my favorites, because they give us a glimpse into something that's happening above us while we're all oblivious down on the ground. Imagine sitting in a plane, gazing out the window as you cruise through the clouds. You think it's just another ordinary flight, but then something extraordinary happens. That's exactly what happened in one of these cases. Take this clip, for example. It was recorded from a window seat on a commercial airliner. As the plane is cruising along at 30,000 feet, a disc-shaped object zooms past at incredible speed. The plane was likely flying at around 400 to 500 miles per hour, but this object just effortlessly blazes past, leaving us in the dust. The sheer speed at which it moved was beyond anything the human eye is accustomed to. Now imagine seeing something like that from your own seat. Wouldn't you be freaking out? You'd probably pull out your phone hoping to catch a glimpse of it on camera, but by the time you blink, it's already gone. The speed and agility of the object were so remarkable that it left people wondering, how could anything travel that fast? And what kind of technology would be needed to achieve such a feat? And then there's the footage sent in by a guy called Mr. Chang. He was flying over Texas when he spotted something really strange in the sky. At first he didn't know what to make of it. It was just a glowing line, almost like fire, streaking across the sky. But when he filmed it, he saw something else entirely. A red, cigar-shaped object illuminated by lightning. At first glance, this might sound like something out of a science fiction film, but the footage is disturbingly real. It's important to note that this wasn't a light on the plane itself, as the flash revealed the sky between the object and the plane, indicating that it was much further away. Then it hit him. Whatever it wasn't a conventional aircraft. It wasn't a commercial jet or a military aircraft. The object seemed to defy all known laws of aerodynamics. It just hung there, seemingly unaffected by the weather conditions or the turbulent winds of the sky. What makes it even more fascinating is that it was captured by an ordinary person on a commercial flight. It's not like some government agency or military personnel got their hands on the footage. No, this was taken by a civilian who happened to be in the right place at the right time. And when you think about it, that's what makes the whole UFO phenomenon so fascinating. It's not just astronauts or scientists who see strange things in the sky. Ordinary people, people like you and me, are capturing bizarre, unexplained footage on their phones and cameras every day. And it's only a matter of time before we all realize that we're not the only ones here. So what does it all mean? Are we really witnessing the beginning of an era where UFOs are no longer dismissed as mere fantasy or science fiction? Are we beginning to unravel the truth that has been hidden from us for decades? It's hard to say, but one thing is certain: the mystery is far from over. If anything, these recent events are just the beginning of a much bigger story. As more and more footage emerges, as more and more people witness strange phenomena in the sky, it's becoming harder and harder to ignore the possibility that we're not alone. There is something out there, something we don't fully understand, but we are getting closer to uncovering the truth. The question is, are we ready to face it? But what does it all mean? Is this just a collection of bizarre coincidences, or are we witnessing the beginnings of something much bigger? Could these objects, the ones zooming past airplanes and filmed by astronauts, be connected to the massive UFO discovered by NASA in 2013? And let's not forget the many reports of strange lights in the sky from around the world. In some cases, people have captured footage of pulsating lights, glowing objects that seem to float and move in ways that defy the laws of physics. We've seen lights over Peru, lights over Mexico, and even lights in the sky that seem to form straight lines and strange patterns. In one case, a dog is seen noticing the lights and looking up, which only adds to the strangeness of it all. Are these objects some kind of communication from alien beings, or are they something else entirely? One of the most compelling pieces of footage was sent in by a viewer who initially thought he was filming balloons. But as the video progressed, the objects began to form strange shapes and move in a way that defied logic. They formed a straight line, and one object even seemed to float above the others, controlling their movements. It was almost as if they were performing some kind of coordinated dance in the sky. So, what do you think? Are we just seeing things, or is something real going on? Could all these sightings be connected in some way? Maybe this isn't just a random collection of UFO clips, but part of a much bigger story, one that we're only just beginning to uncover. This discovery leaves us with more questions than answers. What if this is just the beginning of a much bigger secret? All we can do is speculate and wait for the next clue to surface. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more deep dives into the unexplained.